Biggie. This goes out to you. This goes out to you, and you, and you, and you. This goes out to you. This goes out to you. This goes out to you, and you, and you. Your reign on the top was short like leprechauns as I crush so-called willies, thugs, and rapadons. Get in that ass quick fast like Ramadan. It's that rap phenomenon, Don Dada. Fuck Papa, you got to call me Francis MH. White intake like toast, toe iron. Was told in shootout, stay low and keep firing. Keep extra clips for extra shit. Who's next to flip on that cat with that grip on rap? The most shady, Frankie baby. Ain't no telling where I may be. May see me in DC at Howard Homecoming with my man Capone drumming fucking something.
I told
you
everybody
should know
you
my
killed
stilo.
somebody earlier.
Went from 10 G's for blow.
We are back. Wanted to play a little Biggie play in there because the D-Gen Fantasy Bracket is looking fucking nice. I will say that. I think we've lost 5 games in the bracket that we put together on stream. Feeling pretty good about it. I kind of guessed that you would have watched the Kentucky game, so I took the Marquette and New Mexico game really to break that down. Earlier, I tried to break down a bunch of games with Rocky Prop. He watched one game, the St. Mary's game, and that's all he watched. So I'm hoping you have something for me today. What do you got, Fry?
Lots of chalk, man.
Lots of chalk.
Lots of chalk. I think the only upset today has been New Mexico.
Yes.
Other than that, it's all chalk.
So, wait a second. Is that the only upset today? I'm sorry. I have all of my devices locked in on this fucking stream right now. Please tell me that that can't be the only upset.
Florida, Alabama, Iowa State, Kentucky, Maryland, Arizona, Colorado State beat Memphis.
Okay, so Colorado State, right?
And New Mexico.
Those so Colorado State, Colorado State, New Mexico saved the Mountain West from having another terrible fucking tournament. Now the Mountain West doesn't look like shit. Thank Christ. Which one were you more impressed with?
I was more impressed with, well, New Mexico. New Mexico led wire to wire. Colorado State came back after being down 5, I think, at half, and ended up winning by 8. So they put together a great second half. Probably more impressed with New Mexico.
Yeah. Antonio says, wouldn't even call it an upset. Was only a 4-point spread. Still technically an upset. We called the upset. I feel good about that. It's always good to be on the right side of these upsets. New Mexico, very impressive. Xavier, Illinois on right now. We got UConn, Oklahoma, which, obviously the 2 probably better games of the day are going to be on while we're doing this. But I thought Colorado State benefited from Memphis
choking,
not having any heart.
Choking.
Yeah, but also not having any heart. Like these Penny Hardaway coach teams, they don't have heart. He doesn't coach. I get what he's doing recruiting wise. Like he's pulling in the dudes that the talent. Like I feel like Memphis is definitely competing for talent, right? They're doing a good job at that. But all of the guys he pulls have no heart whatsoever.
Yeah, it was a lifeless second half from them. So
and to miss, who's the guy that takes all the shots for them? I forget his fucking name.
For Memphis?
Hubbard, Haggerty, something like that. Starts with an H.
Their leading scorer is Haggerty.
Haggerty would not stop shooting. I think he was like 3 for 14. He would come down the court. They were down fucking 7. Like he's coming down the court with sea legs on because he can't he's tired. And he's firing up fucking half court threes basically like he's Steph Curry.
He was 7. He was 7 for 23 from the field and 1 for 8 from 3.
So what is that?
He shot him out of the game.
Yeah, but like as a coach, if you're a good coach, you're on the side. Let's say Coach K's on the sideline there, Bri. What does Coach K do?
Strangle his ass.
He fucking kills him on the court. He murders him on the court. Could you imagine fucking Bobby Knight if some fucking guy was doing that on the court?
Oh yeah, he would. Yeah, he would have been. There would have been a bloody puddle at center court.
As there should be, though. You cannot shoot your team out of the game like that. Antonio says the seating committee this year has been kind of off. I will agree. I would have liked to see Michigan play a different team than UC San Diego, because I feel like if you put UC San Diego in any other bracket, they make a run. They look good yesterday, Brian. Did you watch that game?
Yeah, they look good. I mean, it was a 2. They won by 2, right?
3. It was 3.
3, because the line was 2.5.
Okay, but look, didn't have the size. That Wolf kid is incredible, by the way. That's the first time I'm watching Michigan this year.
He's
Danny
awesome.
Wolf is I mean, is he 7 foot?
He's 7 foot. He can dribble.
He dribbles like a fucking point guard.
And he can facilitate too.
Would you rather have him or Cooper Flagg?
Well, I'd rather have Cooper Flagg, but
I think I'm kind of leaning towards Danny Wolf. I got to be honest with you.
Let me pull up a mock draft real quick.
The kid is fucking electrically good. He moves so fucking fluidly for a 7 foot guy. I mean, I was blown away. The fact that Michigan has 2 7-footers on their team and one of them handles the ball like Kyrie Irving is fucking absurd to me. How did they come in as a 5 seed, Bri? What the fuck happened during the season?
I mean, the supporting cast around them is not good.
Okay, so it's literally just Golden and Wolf.
And I mean, Golden isn't that great.
But he's big, and I feel like he rebounds decently. He's got a couple moves, you know what I mean? I feel like he can go left pretty well. I don't know. But Wolf is electric.
Yeah, Golden has stone hands.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Like, he's your typical, I hate to say it, white big guy.
Yeah, I mean, you feel like he might be from Poland somewhere deep down inside. You know what I mean? Like a Lithuanian or a Polish guy.
You're quintessential European big guy.
Yeah, they didn't always come like Jokic, I'll tell you that. They usually come just like Golden.
Jokic is a unicorn.
Yes. But I think so is this Danny Wolf kid. Did you pull up a mock draft?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Danny Wolf. This one says around 20th.
What?
In the draft.
All right. If I'm the Knicks and you don't trade up for him, you don't want to ever win. That's the perfect Knick right there. He should be in New York.
You know who he kind of reminds me of?
Give it to me.
And it's not a perfect comparison because he's probably not as good a shooter or finisher, but he kind of reminds me of like Porzingis.
That's a good one. Because when Porzingis first came into the league, he was like that.
Yeah, Porzingis could dribble. He could get to the hoop at will. He had an outside shot, which Danny Wolf does not have. But
he does have an outside shot. Danny Wolf, I noticed, is more Ben Simmons than he is Porzingis, but I feel like Danny Wolf has more moves. Like Porzingis was fluid when he first came in, but never that fluid. Never like a Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving. I mean, he was putting the ball through his legs, and I know that sounds fucking ridiculous, but like you just don't see 7'1" dudes fucking dribbling like that. You just don't. Like, he's so far above the court, it's ridiculous. Antonio says, like, Colorado State shouldn't be a 12 seed. I get that. I do. I still don't think the Mountain West has the respect, and it's going to come with like tournaments like this where New Mexico wins a game, Colorado State wins a game. I think we see seeding. Shadows hit the fucking Florida parlay. Good shit, buddy. What'd you win on that? When we talk seeding, recency bias has got to be a big thing for these guys too, right, Bri?
Yeah, I mean, look how Gonzaga has had to fight and claw to become a top 3 seed every year, right?
Yeah. How quickly did that committee move them down back to the 8th seed like they always wanted to move them down?
Yeah,
Gonzaga should
just
be a
like that
fifth,
one
a
year.
5 seed, right?
Gonzaga was were they a 5?
Mm. No, they're an 8 this tournament. Should they
Yeah,
not
they're
be
an
a
8.
5 seed? I mean, they won the conference championship. Should they not be a 5 seed?
Yeah, I think they should be higher than 8.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Houston and Gonzaga have to play now is disgusting to me. That is a premier Sweet 16 Elite 8 game, and now you have to have it in the second round. And I mean, I got to be honest with you, there's a lot of good second round games that I feel like we could have shuffled these teams a little bit. And we'll talk about UNC and whether they should have been there. But I just feel like we could have shuffled these seeds around a little bit, man. Florida's playing in the West. Why the fuck is Florida playing in the West?
Well, because the number 1 seed was Auburn, right?
How do you feel about that? That's
I
bullshit, right?
mean, how many games did Auburn lose?
I think 5, 4.
They didn't lose that many.
I thought they were 28-6 or 28-5 or something. They
Well,
didn't win the
granted,
SEC tournament.
so they're the number 1 seed, so they get closest to, right?
I get that.
So
Duke's
they're in
playing
the
in
South.
Raleigh. Like
They're in the
Duke's playing in
South.
Raleigh.
Duke's the number 1 seed. They're in the East. Houston got the Midwest,
And then Florida gets fucked out.
and then
West.
Florida gets whatever's left over.
I just feel like if Florida beats Auburn in the SEC championship game, should that not count for something? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the SEC was just so overrated this year.
They were, but did you watch Florida play tonight?
I watched a little bit of Florida play. Obviously impressive. They absolutely
Yeah, but here's why I asked that question. What's the weakness for Florida?
What's the weakness for Florida?
You saw it tonight. What's the weakness?
Giving up 69 points to Norfolk.
Speeding them up. There was a point in the first half when they should have been walking the ball up the court. I think they were up 30 fucking points. And Norfolk did this thing. They pressured the ball, and then they sped them up. And they kept moving, fast break shit, and they made Florida look like fucking shit. If Florida was playing an actual team, they would have lost. But they were playing Norfolk State. And they really obviously they had a great second half. But interesting to note that Florida cannot be sped up like that without massive amount. I mean, they turned the ball over left and right to Norfolk State. Can't imagine what happens when you see a Houston or a fucking like a good defensive team. St. John's is the real one. I mean, let's actually rewind a little bit because I didn't get your opinion on last night's games. We didn't even talk fucking last night's games with you. I talked them with Rocky, which was like talking to my cat. He also didn't watch the game, so it just didn't fucking matter. But last night we had a couple games we didn't cover that were on while we were on. Which game did you check out? Were you just kind of on that St. John's game?
I was on all. Well, so I had the Foursquare up, so I was watching all 4 games. Obviously, the Michigan game was crazy.
Great game.
3-point game.
Mm-hmm.
What else was late?
Texas Tech, UNC Dub.
Yep. So, really impressed by the way that UNC Wilmington was able to shut down Texas Tech's best player, because that was one of my props, and it lost. They shut Toppin down, which is concerning moving into the next round for Texas Tech. If UNC Wilmington can shut down Toppin, I'm assuming better competition can as well.
See, and this is where I wish we could just pick the bracket round by round, because I feel like I'd be able to get a perfect bracket if that was the case. But here's the thing. You're right. Toppin had how many points last night? It was atrocious. Yeah, I mean, for him, he's the leading scorer in the nation, right?
No. Well, he's the leading scorer on the team. He averages like 20, 21 points.
Yeah, pretty
Over
fucking
the last
ridiculous.
10 games, he's averaging like 23, 24 points.
Yeah. For him to get shut down the way he did, UNC Dub is not a bad team. They're not a bad team, but
I
they're
mean,
not a good team, right?
to Toppin's credit, he became a facilitator. So
Mm-hmm.
every time he saw a double team, he passed out of it incredibly well. I think he had. I'm looking up how many assists he had. It was a lot, more than he normally has. Toppin had. Oh, he only had 3 assists, but he had 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. So I mean, he was a part of the game. He just wasn't scoring.
Yeah, but you could tell that he was facilitating, and that's what you want to see. Obviously, that means that Texas Tech can win even when he's not playing his A game, and that's good. UNC Dub, I'm trying to look them up on Bart Torvik right now to see where they are, to see if we have any shot at Texas Tech um, making it to the Final Four. I believe we have them going into like the Sweet 16 at least.
I have him going fairly deep.
Yeah, where do you have them going in your brackets?
I have Texas Tech going.
Sweet 16, right?
The Elite Eight.
So you have them beating St. John's.
Uh, I'm sorry, Sweet 16. I have them losing to St. John's.
Okay, and I would, you know what? I have them beating St. John's, and now I wish I could reverse that. But
Yeah.
UNC Dub is 107 on Bart Torvik, so not the best competition. 27-8 in a rather weak conference. Like I would like to see Texas Tech win by more than 10. Now we had a lot of fucking games today. I think I want to start with Duke. Um, who's going to stop them is the question.
If
Is
they play
anyone
like
going to
that,
be able to?
if they play like that, no one.
I mean, they couldn't miss. They're playing team ball. They move the ball so well, dude. They move the ball like an NBA team does. It's ridiculous.
I mean, Cooper Flag comes back and plays a great game. I'm pulling up Cooper Flag's line.
George
14,
Foreman
7,
died.
and 4.
George Foreman died.
Oh.
Thanks, Rock. Ruined the first stream, now you're ruining the second. Bry was making a good point. Son of a bitch.
Cooper Flag was 14, 7, and 4 and shot 50% from the floor. I mean, what else do you want from the kid? In
Nothing.
22 minutes. He only played 22 minutes.
And they won by what, 40, 38, something like that?
They won by carry. They won by 44 points.
Okay. Not the best team, by the way.
No.
Obviously, but what you're looking for with these 1 seeds versus the 16 seeds is the 1 seed to come out and beat the shit out of them. That's what I want. I don't want a tight game. I want. Go ahead.
Like Houston came out and fucking destroyed SIUE.
4 baskets in the second half for SIUE.
And then Florida did well. Auburn was the one that did not look as good as the other 3.
Yeah, and we'll touch on that. Antonio says Duke proved they are the best number 1 seed in the tournament. I think it's tight. I think Florida really, really came out impressive. I think that, yes, they gave up a lot of points to Norfolk State, but I do think that after a certain point, you're up by 30 in the first half. You just kind of, it doesn't matter. They're not going to be able to catch up no matter what anyways. So I go ahead.
I mean, the real test for Duke, whether they are the best number 1 seed, is what they do to Baylor. Because I feel like Baylor played a pretty good game today.
Yeah, let's talk about Mississippi State in the fact, Bry, 8.9 seconds left in this game. I'm at work in my office fucking screaming at the fucking, because I had Mississippi State to win this game. I'm fucking screaming. They get the ball, 8.9 seconds left under the basket. They got one timeout left. The dude who inbounds the ball doesn't alert the I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know these fucking players' name. Doesn't alert the other guy. He barely grabs the ball and then starts to walk the fucking ball up the court and then starts to sprint. It's a mess from the get go. After he gets across half court, what do, Bry? You've
You
never
toss
coached
him out.
exactly. You have never coached a professional basketball team, a college team. Have you coached a high school team, Bry?
No.
Okay, so even you know that once we get beyond half court, we call a fucking timeout, especially when we look as haphazard as we did there.
I've reffed a couple Special Olympics games, and you help the coaches.
I feel like if
You call timeout.
you're making millions of dollars a year to coach a team, you need to know to call a timeout there. Your team looks like shit. They haul up a fucking ridiculous air ball with 1.1 seconds left on the clock. Just fucking let it go. And that's it. That's the end of the game. Mississippi State, I thought, played a really good game. I think that Baylor game was probably one of the better games of the day. It was back and forth. I mean, they both looked like good teams. The coaching fails one of those teams.
It was one of the better games. I felt like Baylor should have been up by 10 at halftime, but they only
Agreed.
were up by like 4.
Agreed.
And man, that little kid for Mississippi State,
He's good.
He can shoot the ball.
Mississippi State surprised me. I was worried that they were going to come out kind of flat, and they absolutely did not. They played really well. The coach fouled them at the end. I'd like to see that. I'd like to replay that 8.9 seconds, and maybe we get an instant classic fucking buzzer beater. We haven't had a buzzer beater this fucking tournament, Bry.
Sure
I mean,
haven't.
how fucking empty is that? Like, I want a buzzer beater, baby. I want to see fucking, a 15 seed beat a 2 seed. I don't even think we got a shot outside of Bryant, who's the only 2 seed left to play, right? Or the only 15 seed left to play. We got Bryant. Maybe they can pull an upset on Michigan State. They're up 7-6 right now. UConn up 30-22. This Xavier Illinois game is back and forth, 23-22 Illinois. It's a great fucking game, though.
Yeah, I feel like this is the chalkiest bracket I've seen in a long time, at least for a first round. There's not been an insane upset.
Bri, there's a show that does streams Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday that I think previewed the bracket and said that this was the chalkiest bracket they remember seeing in a while. Who's that show? Do you know that show?
I don't know. I think those words came out of my mouth.
I think Brian said those words. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of a different show. We can't be that good, Brian. We can't be that good.
I mean, we are that good.
We are that fucking good. I have 2 comments that I need to pop up. I'm covering the screen because I had a naked lady walking around there for a second. My apologies. Brody says, I was so close to winning 650 on a 6-man. Mike Conley, who averages 25 minutes a game, decides to only play for 10. Brody, I am so sorry. And then Blue Jays over the top rope again. I don't even know where he came from. Seems like Brody's streak of being down bad continues. Hate to see it. Blue Jays, where did you come from? Off the top rope. Brody, I am so sorry, man.
Stop betting on the
NBA.
NBA.
Keep plugging away, buddy.
Stop betting on the NBA.
Yeah, let's get you away from the NBA until the playoffs happen and they're actually playing and the refs aren't blowing a whistle every 10 seconds. Antonio says Bryant up on Michigan State right now. We did just say that. You getting ideas about Bryant? At what point in the game will you start getting ideas about Bryant?
With about 8 minutes left in the game. After the 8-minute timeout.
Okay. Of the first half?
The second half.
Okay. All right. I like it. You're okay. I will say we have to talk about this though. Antonio, I just remember because of his name. He calls the Robert Morris upset of Alabama yesterday. And I think both of us looked at each other and were like, who the fuck, who's on Robert Morris? Do we even know?
Close. It was close.
There was 5 minutes left and Robert Morris is up 1 point on Alabama.
I mean, Robert Morris could not stop the alley-oop.
They couldn't stop the alley oop. They don't have the size, but would you say that Robert Morris is maybe one of the more athletic teams in the tournament?
No, I would not say that.
Right. So what do we say? What does that say about Alabama? Because for a while there, Alabama could not stop anyone on Robert Morris that was creating.
God, I just want Alabama to be good.
I do too, because Nate
Just like a
Oates
run.
coaches the style of basketball that you want to cheer for. It's just a fact.
Yeah, it's just such a video game style of basketball
is.
that I like to watch.
Threes, fucking throwing, they're running the whole time. It was part of the reason why Buffalo was amazing to watch when he was the coach. Like, it was just great to watch. I mean, Brian, you remember those Buffalo teams? Because we were in a chat together, and I'm sure I was screaming about it. I'm frozen. Am I frozen as fuck right now on your screen?
I can hear you, but you're giving me duck lips. Oh no,
Okay,
that's
I'm
better.
back. I was giving you duck lips for a while,
Yeah,
but
a little duck lips going.
we were in that we were in that Discord together. I'm sure you heard about Buffalo. I was always yelling about them. Fantastic team to watch. This is like that team, that Buffalo team on steroids, because they got all of the 5 stars that they could possibly pay for at Alabama. You want this team to be good, like you do, but they still are boneheads. They make stupid decisions all the fucking time. So what is that, Brian? Why?
I think they play so freaking fast that they want to play fast. Like that's their whole identity is to play fast. But I
Right.
feel like sometimes they play too fast.
They play too fast.
They
They
just
don't
play.
have IQ on the floor for some reason. Mark Sears has been in college for like 27 years.
Yeah,
I'm
they
pretty
just
sure
play
he's
out of control.
55. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Bouye says maybe get some of those semi-illegal drugs in your system. What's the worst that can happen? Yeah, good point. At this point, Bouye, bring on the fentanyl. Brody said, "Where's Superhuman Rocky Prop?" And yes, you're right to haha at that. Rocky Prop is playing beer league hockey right now. Probably the best he's ever played. I think he's probably scored like 17 goals tonight. Robert Morris had Bama fans Bama fans clenching the cheeks. They sure did.
Cool.
Do we think Oklahoma has a shot of winning right now? Bri, that score, I believe UConn's up by 10, 12?
They're up by 8 and Oklahoma's on the line. So they could cut it to 6. I have Oklahoma in my bracket. So I'm hoping Oklahoma can make this a game.
I have UConn. I'm hopeful that UConn just kind of fucking sticks it out here. Are you watching that game right now? You're watching
I have all 4 of them on.
Nice. I got to get YouTube TV. I don't know what I'm doing. UConn up 7. Oklahoma still at the line. I feel like Oklahoma's still got a shot. They're down 7 in the first half. They got plenty of time left here.
Yeah.
Do you think that Oregon and Liberty is going to be a fun game at least?
I think they're going to score a lot of points. So if I were to pick something, it would be the over.
Very interesting. I know you guys aren't privy to the group chat, but this morning at about 11:15, Brian unloaded like 47 screenshots of just $100 bets after $100 bets. And I was like, what's happening right now? He's like, why don't you get on the fucking thing and start betting? All right, what are you doing? It's 11 o'clock in the morning right now. I'm like, all right, man. I guess we're doing that. Brody, too late to come to the dark side. What does that mean? Too late to come. Yeah, it's too late for Rocky Prop. He's been in bed for at least 3 hours at this point. So we expect Illinois up 6 right now. Did we have Illinois going on? Shadows, what's our bracket have? I need the Illinois. Did we have Illinois winning or Xavier?
I have Xavier winning, but
I think I do too.
In mine. Xavier just cut it to 1.
Nice. Okay, big 3. Love to see it. What did you think of UNC and Ole Miss today?
What a disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
What a freaking disappointment. It was depressing. I had North Carolina in my bracket. I felt like I guess they peaked too soon. I don't know. They
started to bleed their own sauce, huh?
I guess so. And then by the second half, they started to come back, but it was way too late. So
Way too late. ACC has had a horrible showing outside of Duke. Obviously, 4 teams in, 3 teams out.
Clemson out,
Louisville out,
Louisville out,
UNC out. It's only Duke left, right?
Duke,
I think it's only
and
Duke.
uh,
I don't think they have any other teams in there.
I'm just going through all the teams.
Uh-huh.
Damn, ACC, what are you doing?
Well, if you win the championship, it doesn't matter anyways. There's not a single thing that any team in the country can do against this Duke team. This feels like This feels like UConn last year to me. It's inevitable. Obviously you want to see them against better competition, but they beat the fuck. Oh, who'd they play today? Who was the team?
Who?
Duke.
Duke played Mount St. Mary's.
They beat the fuck out of them with such an intensity. I mean, it was brutal, dude. And you said Flag played 22 minutes today?
Yeah. 14, 7, and 4.
The other white kid they have that just doesn't miss 3-point shots, who is that? Vassell or something? What's his name? Vasily or whatever the fuck his name is?
Well, they have was his Canoopel.
Canoopel. I don't know where the fuck Vasily came from. It's 10 o'clock, boys. I'm sorry. Yeah, Canoopel doesn't fucking miss. There's also the shorter black kid with the fucking curly hair, curly fro kind of situation.
Oh, Proctor.
Doesn't fucking miss. Dude, doesn't fucking miss at all. And they moved the kid they got from South Sudan he's what, like 7'2" or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Moves like a goddamn gazelle.
I can't even pronounce his name.
Dude, he moves like a gazelle. They couldn't stop the fucking. I mean, he was dunking all over everybody, dude. They have size. They have speed. They're an NBA team. They're an NBA team.
The problem with Baylor is Baylor does not have a big guy like that. They run a smaller lineup. So I think the tallest person on Baylor is like 6'9".
Yeah, and that's a problem because Duke is the biggest team in the nation, and all of these motherfuckers that are big can move like point guards, and that's a fucking problem, dude.
What do you think a Duke-Michigan matchup would look like with the Michigan's 2 big guys versus Duke's?
I think that the big guys on Michigan are more talented, but outside of Cooper Flag, obviously. Yeah. Let's take Cooper Flag off the court real quick. The big guys on Michigan, I think Wolf is better than the kid from South Sudan, whatever the fuck that kid's name is. Golden, I think, is serviceable. He reminds me of like a way less efficient Zach Edey, like a way less efficient. Mm-hmm. Like just can't, like Zach Edey, as much as I hated that motherfucker towards the end of his 12-year college basketball career, the kid just had so many fucking moves. Like there was nothing you could do with him. He had so many shots.
Yeah, he had all those shots, and he could actually shoot free throws too.
He could, and Golden, not great. I think that Duke is favored over Michigan by 13.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
I said 12 and a half. 12, yes. 12 and a half, yeah.
Close, right? All three of these games look like they're going to be shootouts. That's from Antonio. I hope so, man. I want some scoring. Brody, even CBB stole my money. Brody, you are going through it right now. Maybe just take a little breath and just take a second. Maybe see if Bry's got any picks that you could tell to get back on the right fucking track here. Antonio says Duke already coming in as an 11.5 point favorite and a 900 on the money, minus 900 on the money.
Yeah, and I would assume Baylor, Michigan, if that was a game, would be pretty close to even. Blue Jays
just dunking off the top rope. This Canadian is hilarious. I think McNeese beats Purdue tomorrow. I did say McNeese has got Brody. Don't listen to him. Blue Jays, take it easy on Brody. He's going through it right now, man. Good Lord.
Man.
I do think McNeese has a shot tomorrow, but maybe that's my bias of
You're a Purdue hater.
I hate fucking Purdue. But I'd like to say that it's due to a Purdue fan. Okay, there's a guy named Murph in a Discord chat, and I hate him. I think he's the worst person on the planet, and he's a Purdue fan. And I just think that if you like Purdue and you're the worst person on the planet, I should probably hate Purdue.
That's fair.
I feel like it's fair. You're a Penn State fan. What do you think about Purdue?
I actually don't think about Purdue as a Penn State.
I want to clip that. I want to clip that and play that before every Purdue home game. I actually don't think about Purdue at all. They don't come up in my mind at all. They haven't since they had Drew Brees. So that's always fun.
Drew Brees 0-4 against Penn State.
When's the last time Purdue beat Penn State? That's the question.
Ooh, it's been a while.
At least 5 years, right? At least.
Oh, longer than that.
10?
It might be 10.
Might be 10. Purdue ain't shit to Penn State. Good point. Penn State is coming into their Alabama era, as I call it, and they are going to win a championship very soon.
I hope so.
You guys are. There's no way you're not. Antonio Paranello says, Brody, strippers and semi-illegal drugs are here waiting for you. Brody, we got the solution to your issue, and it's through the nose, buddy. It's through the nose and a little bit of titties on the side. Nothing wrong with that. This is a degenerate show, so I'd like to co-sign that. Brian, don't act like you don't co-sign that as well, please.
Brian, do what you will.
Thank you, Brian. Jesus. All right, Xavier is going to go. They're down 5 right now. Michigan State only have scored 14 points so far.
Tied.
It's tied. 14-14?
Yep.
And UConn up by 6 at half. Oregon jumps out to an early lead on Liberty. I have 13-2 right now. Really hoping that that holds. I do not want to see another 5-12 upset. What do you think it is? Because it used to be the 6-11 that were the upsets. What do you think it is about these 5-12 games?
I think it's like you get like conference champions that are marginal top 64 teams playing at large teams.
I feel like that's a good diagnosis of that because realistically, outside of this Oregon game, just right now, because they're up on Liberty early, Michigan had a chance to lose as well.
Yeah.
I mean, San Diego did not go away for a second. They were down like 9 at one point. The coach comes out and he's like, oh, yeah, we're fine. We're going to be okay. I'm like, yeah, you're about to go down 13 and not have a chance in this fucking game. And they were in it till the fucking end, man. Those kids can shoot. I guarantee you we will be seeing UC San Diego again next year. First year of eligibility to be in the tournament, and they're already competing. Looks like someone's spending some fucking money down in San Diego, so let's see what they got. But Blue Jays says Antonio is definitely a guy who knows some fucking guys. Yeah, just based off of the last name, I feel like Antonio knows a couple people that may have whacked a couple other people. Antonio says, nice way to rebound. And UConn is going to turn on the Jets in the second half. I hope so, buddy. That is what I'm looking for. Brian, anything else you wanted to touch on today?
If Michigan State wins, which I think they will, even though they're down by 1 point right now, I will have all my Sweet 16 teams alive.
Nice.
Which I don't think anyone in our little bracket group can say that. So
I don't think so. You have the most available points to you outside of like one other guy, I think. I'm in 5th. I believe you're in what, 2nd and 3rd, or tied for 2nd with yourself?
Yeah, my Sweet 16 is Auburn, Texas A&M, Iowa State, Michigan State, Florida, Maryland, Texas Tech, St. John's, Duke, Arizona, Yale, and Alabama.
Wait, Houston. You picked Yale?
Yeah, I picked Yale.
To go to the Sweet 16?
Yeah.
Wow. Why?
Or not Yale, BYU. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank God. I was like,
BYU.
what the fuck happened? Oh, you
But
took BYU over Alabama.
no, I took BYU over Wisconsin.
I took BYU over Wisconsin as well. VCU robbed. What do you think about that, bro?
VCU played
BYU.
BYU. That's right. Oh,
Good
why
game.
they lost by 9?
It was a good game. I thought VCU played really well. BYU just shot the lights out.
I didn't mean Yale. I saw the Y, and it just said it's almost 11. I said Yale instead of BYU.
Who took we took Wisconsin over what is happening? So me and Rocky fucking outweighed you apparently. In my personal bracket I have BYU. I don't know what I was arguing that for. Yes, they lost by 9. Shadows, thank you for keeping up with it because if you didn't, I don't know what the fuck.
There's a very good possibility that Wisconsin can beat BYU, so that could be a coin flip.
BYU can go cold at any point in time.
Yeah, but I really like Richie Saunders.
I think they have a great team, and I think they're only going to get better. By the way,
he's an exciting white boy.
We got a couple whites that are doing some things. Cooper DeJean in the Super Bowl. We got Cooper Flag. Both Coopers doing stuff. Should have named my son Cooper. I'm kind of regretting that right now.
Richie Saunders.
Richie Saunders killing it. Danny Wolf. Oh, good name. Good name. Bryant playing good basketball right now. Up 2 on my end. What do you have, Bry?
They're up 2, and it looks like Tommy Izzo might rip someone's testicles off.
At halftime, he will be.
No, just on the bench.
Jesus Christ. What do we got? I think UCLA pulls an upset on Tennessee too. I think Utah State sucks ass. That's what I think. They looked like absolute shit. I turned that game off after like 14 seconds.
Anyone fired up for Canada versus United States in soccer on Sunday? No.
No. We don't even really claim soccer unless Pulisic is playing. So that's it.
I mean, any sport where you can't use your hands sounds stupid to me. like at least table tennis, you can use your hands.
And we have bet some table tennis before in the past, my friends. Not in a great moment for us.
That just sounds like a stupid sport.
Yeah, it's and it doesn't really mean anything. Oh, Pulisic is playing.
The good Lord gave you these things for a reason.
That's why the only position Bry ever plays during a soccer game is goalie. That's it. Keeper. Sorry.
That's how ridiculous it is.
Antonio says Michigan can't hit a barn right now. Now, if I had to pick a number 2 seed that would lose, I feel like Michigan State kind of fits the mold for a team that can absolutely blow it when it comes to March.
I mean, all of them feel like it except for St. John. So you have Alabama who looked a little shaky. You have Tennessee.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said, by the way.
You have Tennessee who
didn't really beat the fuck out of Wolford, as Rocky Prop would say.
Yeah, I mean, do you believe in Tennessee?
No, I don't believe in Tennessee.
And then you have Michigan State. I think all 3 of them are kind of paper tigers.
I agree. I think who's the favorite team that you've watched thus far? Outside of the number 1 seeds, who do you like to compete for a championship?
Let's go outside number 1 and 2 seeds.
Okay, let's do it.
I mean, Iowa State looked great today.
Iowa State looked like I wanted them to look. Let's just put it that way.
And their best player was injured.
And the defense that they play
was top 10 in the nation.
Dude, I mean, it's crazy how defense is making such a huge comeback, but St. John's, Iowa State, I thought Houston played, obviously, those 3 teams played incredible defense. thought Duke, for as offensively explosive as they are, they also played incredible. But what did you think about Maryland? Because I thought
Yeah, Maryland played well.
Grand Canyon is an easy team to slip up to because they do have athleticism, and when they are on, they can give you a fucking game. Maryland from the get-go, I thought looked like a contender.
So I have a confession to make, Danny.
Oh no.
I have Maryland in my Elite Eight beating Florida.
Whoa, my God.
And after today, I kind of like it.
You son of a bitch. Brian, I had to basically scream at Brian to fucking put in a bracket this year, and this motherfucker is going to win first and second place. So that's fantastic. I'm never doing that again. Brian is outlawed from all other bracket competitions from this point on. And Blue Jays says Maryland looks pretty strong. Thank you for the cosign. I'm glad Blue Jays isn't shitting on our lives because I feel like haven't seen Brody in a couple comments here, so I'm a little concerned about where he is at the moment. Shadow says any players I should trust in the next Purdue game except Trey Kaufman and rebounds because I got him over.
Purdue, huh? I know who you should bet on Purdue, depending on the number, obviously. What is his name? Purdue Smith. Braden Smith.
Brody, you got Braden Smith. You got a line for Braden Smith?
Yeah, points. He's their best scorer.
I don't think that Colorado State looked good enough for me to be concerned about Maryland.
I think Maryland was underrated, or underranked, or
what do you think they should have been?
Underseeded.
What do you think they should?
What is Maryland? A 4?
A 4. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they should have been a high 3.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, high 3.
This Illinois Xavier game is 40-35 at half, but Illinois just hit a buzzer beater to end the first half. Going back and forth, I should have taken the over when this game started. I'm absolutely pissed off that I did not. Jesus, what a shot. Does Illinois have legs, Bri?
Does Illinois?
Yeah, do they have legs to go far in this tournament?
I don't think so.
They look great right now. And I don't think Xavier's a bad team.
I don't think Xavier's a bad team. Also, keep in mind that Xavier played 2 nights ago, so they might have a little
sea legs.
But yeah, I don't see Illinois just being like a team that is going to be able to run the table.
Over or under on Smith, Bry?
What's the number?
What's the number, buddy? Antonio said the same thing about Robert Morris in Alabama. It's March. I've learned anything can happen. Yeah. I hope for my sake that Maryland wins as Bry strokes his kitten like he's a fucking supervillain. I just don't. There's something about Colorado State I just did not like at all. It says 18. Go up. All right, we're going over. I like it. What am I thinking, Brian? Why did I not? I just was not impressed with Colorado State. I just wasn't.
Do you have last year's tournament loss?
I might because they have a good coach.
Yeah, I mean they make the tournament almost every year.
They do, and that what's his name, Nico something, the coach of that. He's going to leave that program and go to a better program soon. But he's good. I feel like the scheme wise, he's fucking fantastic. I just hate that fucking team. I don't know what it is, man.
They just don't look very athletic.
They don't. Okay, good call. That's it. They don't. They don't have the explosiveness you want. Do they have the guard play to challenge Maryland at all?
No, I think they win ugly too.
Yeah, they do.
So they don't win like
Blue Jays is hammering on all cylinder the last 3 fucking streams, dude. Good shit. R.I.P. to the Foreman Grill. Oh man.
I mean, one of the greatest boxing matches of all time, right?
One of the greatest kitchen gadgets of all time, too. Actually, do you know the story about that? Hulk Hogan and George Foreman. Hogan had the ability to own the Foreman grill. Like they offered it to fucking Hogan first, and he turned it down and did like a blender. And Foreman got the grill, and now Hulk Hogan's like bankrupt. I'm almost positive. So that's a sad moment for him. Brody should make you feel better that Hulk Hogan is way worse off than you are right now. Shadow says, calling it St. John's beats Arkansas tomorrow. I feel like that's not a big enough prediction to do the calling it thing where we take a screenshot. We expect St. John's to beat Arkansas tomorrow, right, Bri?
You would expect it. Yeah, it's Patino versus Calipari, which is
a huge mismatch for for Patino, right? Calipari is not anywhere near the coach Patino is.
I mean, I think St. John's has better players.
They do, but
Calipari's a better recruiter.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying right now. Patino is schematically a better coach.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Did you see the halftime speech he gave? He's still got it. He's 79 years old or whatever the fuck. He's still screaming.
Here's the problem. My wife is a UK grad. And anything,
so she fucking hates him.
And anytime Rick Pitino or Calipari come onto the screen, turn it off.
Just saying, so you know, Bry picked Arkansas over St. John's on predictions, but was outvoted. We said a lot of things, Shadows. I'm glad you Okamania turning to Grillamania. Yo, the boys are hilarious tonight. Okay.
You want to talk a little football?
Yeah,
because there's something that came out in the last hour.
Let's do it.
Jameis Winston is now a New York Giant.
Rocky Prop's got to be so excited right now.
I mean, I wouldn't be.
Bri, we get to bet on Jameis Winston to throw interceptions again. Are we not stoked about this?
I mean, he's gonna throw 2 a game.
With that, okay, nothing excites you about him throwing the ball to Neighbors? Nothing?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, he's a pick machine.
Oh, yeah, dude, it's going to be fantastic, but let's just say he starts, right? How much money are you going to put on the interception prop in the first game? How much?
I mean, if the line is 1.5, I'm going to nail it.
I mean, there wouldn't be enough juice to stop me either, by the way. Minus 150, I'm taking it. Minus 175, I'm fucking taking it. He's throwing 2 picks a game behind that line, and it's going to be just horrific for him. Shadow says DGen Mania. I like that. I think we get our own grill, Bri. We pitch Foreman grills to put your face on a Foreman grill, and we call it DGen Mania, Grill Mania. I don't even know. We got to come up with something better than that. But Shadow says Giants are definitely trying to Wilson. There's no way that Rodgers goes back to New York. So you think they're also trying to sign Russell Wilson too? I feel like they wouldn't, right?
I don't think Rodgers wants to go to the Giants.
I wouldn't want to go either if you were Rodgers, but what the fuck is he waiting for?
The
Steelers want him and the Vikings.
He wants to go to Minnesota.
But I thought the Vikings offered him money. Did they not?
He's not signed yet.
What is it? I don't know if he wants to play anymore. I'm just going to say that. Wilson did say he wanted to go to the Giants. I don't know why he said that. I don't think he ends up there, though. I think most likely he ends up back in Pittsburgh, right?
I mean, that would be my guess.
Yeah. Do you think Pittsburgh drafts a quarterback?
Does who?
Pittsburgh.
Well, I'm seeing the mock drafts that I'm following has our boy from Ole Miss coming in, getting into the first round.
Jackson Dart in the first round. Oh, Brian, what do you feel about that? Because we don't like Jackson Dart.
I'm not a Jackson Dart guy.
I don't think that's a good pickup at all for them. Give me that Tyler Shuff kid in the fucking like 6th round. I think you could get him 6th, 7th round, and I think he'll be decent. I don't think he'll be a bad quarterback at all. Brian should probably do a slap chop style infomercial. Get him one of those wraparound headsets and some khakis. Brian has khakis, you son of a bitch. How dare you? Not many options in this draft. I actually think the quarterbacks are a little underrated towards the back end of the draft. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I kind of like Will Howard.
What's not to like? He's the prototypical body size, at least, right?
I kind of like Kyle McCord.
Great fucking season last year.
I mean, if Quinn Ewers is a 2nd round pick, I don't necessarily mind him in the 2nd round. I don't like him in the 1st, but I'd take a chance on him in the 2nd.
Uye says, my apologies, Brian. I was not familiar with your game. You got to get up. Brian's got khakis for days. Lilith says, George Foreman died. Yeah, Foreman died. Brian's taking over the Foreman grill. It's going to be Admiral Grill or some shit like that. So you haven't mentioned Tyler Shuff from Louisville. Do you hate him?
I don't hate him.
I thought he was really good last year in college.
He was okay. He was all right.
I'm pretty sure I remember a point where you said he was fucking great.
I said he was great.
I think you said he was great at one point during the season.
That does not sound like something that would come out of my mouth.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. I think he is going to be good in the NFL. And Brian thinks it somewhere too, deep down inside. Antonio says, think Cam Ward is the first QB off the list. I agree, but it looks more and more like Shadur's going to Cleveland. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like Carter's slipping.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Well, he has not only a shoulder, but a foot thing.
I don't. Listen, he could have an amputated penis. If the Bills don't do something to get that motherfucker on our team, I quit. All right?
He's got a shoulder, he's got a foot, and then, I mean, Penn State fans knew about this, but he had an arrest earlier in the season, which has come to light. So I've known about that for months, though.
What are we talking about here? A little beating?
So apparently, he was in his house. A tow truck came up and started towing his car. He got into an altercation with the tow truck driver and maybe or may not have assaulted that man.
Well, I mean, think about whose car you're towing. It's not like Abdul Carter's checks didn't cash, I would assume. Also, if he's that big, like, what? I mean, maybe just take a break on that car. Also, that's the Bills' star defensive end there. So, fuck that tow driver. I'm very glad that he got beat up.
I mean, Carter's side of the story was he didn't know who this person was that was towing his car. He thought it could have been just some random person trying to steal his car.
Yeah, the tow truck didn't give it away, that's for sure.
Yeah, so look, it's not a good look regardless. Is it the end of the world that he got into an altercation with a tow truck driver? I don't think so. It's not like he beat a woman. He didn't.
Yeah, it's not like a nurse that was doing good as a tow truck driver. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, he didn't beat a woman.
Yeah.
He didn't kill a person speeding down the highway doing drag racing. Yeah, I don't see the problem.
Me either. Lilith, you don't have to be so mean about it. I will pop that comment up, but I don't like it. I'm just going to tell you that. Antonio says Sanders himself doesn't want that. I actually disagree. I think, um, I think that Stefanski is the perfect coach for Shadur Sanders. Every quarterback that he has had is Sanders style that has done well in his system. Sorry. I think Sanders is like a pretty prototypical fucking pocket passer with a little bit of escapability, but he's going to stand in there and he's going to fucking fire the ball. I feel like Sanders would be great in Cleveland. I don't know if you share the same opinion, Bry, but I don't think that Sanders would mind going to a Stefanski coach team.
I mean, at some point in our lifetime, right?
Yeah.
In the next 40 years,
Yeah.
the Browns are going to make a Super Bowl run.
That's a good point.
And the quarterback that does it will be immortalized in that city for forever.
Forever.
Forever. They don't even have to win. They just have to get there.
I just think that if you
Would you like
want
to be the guy?
if you want the greatness, you go to the cities that will buy you a beer for the rest of your life if you win a Super Bowl. The cities that will fucking put a statue of you and name every goddamn street corner they can after you. Because that's what Cleveland would do. That's what Buffalo would do. Imagine if fucking Detroit won with Goff. Every road would be named Jared Goff Way. Every fucking road.
The Patriots were a dumpster fire team before Brady.
And I'm sure at some point Brady will have a statue outside of that stadium. Lilith says Bills aren't doing anything to get Carter. Watch your mouth, Lilith. How dare you? Blue Yay says amputated penis is wild. Who knows? He's a eunuch. Bills have both, so they'll be all right. Again, watch your mouth, Lilith. How dare you? Antonio says Ray Lewis killed a man and became a Hall of Famer. Carter will be fine. I actually think that Carter probably should have killed the guy because maybe, you know what I mean, Bry? Hall of Fame career after that. Blue Yay says best eunuch off the board. Blue Yays, you're on fire, buddy. I appreciate it, man.
Do you care to guess what kind of car Abdul Carter was driving?
Maserati.
No. What does every college kid drive?
Escalade?
Dodge
Ferrari?
Charger. It was a Dodge Charger.
I'm trying to think like what would see Blue Yay said Hellcat. I was kind of assuming that he got a bag and a half. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Okay, so
that's right. Blue Jays knows.
Yeah, all right. He was driving a okay. See, but you know what? If somebody was trying to fucking tow my Hellcat, I might try to assault him too. It's a nice car, all right? So let's take it easy on Abdul. I'm pretty sure he was in the right, headspace when he did that. That guy was being a prick. Again, we'll take you in Buffalo no matter what you did. Bill should have fired Shakir and signed Stephon Diggs. I don't know if that would have been good at all. Antonio says typical. Good Lord.
Yeah, it was a Dodge Charger. You knew it. You knew it the minute I said it.
Yeah. I feel like there isn't a thing outside
and that's
of
not racial profiling either.
No, not at all. We're not saying that. DGen Fantasy does not racial profile anyone but white people.
And some Asians.
Some Asians, but we cover those bases, by the way.
Yeah.
Rocky's white. Brian is also white. I'm Asian, so we cover we cover all sorts of. We're very diverse here at DGen Fantasy. It'll be better than Shakir, that's for sure. You know what, Shadows? I don't need you turning on me like fucking Lilith has turned on me. All right, so maybe take it easy over there. Whatever happened to Darius Miles, Brian? Do you have an update on Darius Miles?
I don't. What happened to him?
I'm looking it up right now. Brian, you got any more NFL news for us?
I think that was the only thing that popped on my phone.
I thought there was another thing today. The fucking Celtics, I believe, sold for like $6 billion.
Oh no! Did they?
Alabama men's basketball player Darius Miles and another man have been charged with capital murder. Okay, so he's probably in jail, I would assume. Good Lord, I forgot that he played at Alabama. Wow. Good Lord. All right, that got dark. Yeah, the Celtics went for 6.1 billion. Um,
Well,
to
there was a rumor that the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, Jeffrey Lurie, was potentially a suitor to purchase the Boston Celtics.
Yes, he was. I don't think he offered enough money.
That's great.
Yeah, so he's definitely not the Celtics owner now. It's some like 50-year-old billionaire or some shit like that.
It would
I have
really hurt my heart to see him own the Boston Celtics. I
Yeah,
like him.
that would suck, right? That would fucking suck. Because you know he would turn them into an even better team somehow. Howie Roseman would probably like moonlight as a fucking NBA guy, and you guys would just have like 3 Kobe Bryants coming from somewhere, and just get every good fucking draft pick ever known to man. And Abdul Carter, when he switches over to play the NBA, is going to be a fucking Hall of Famer. All right, so sources say free agent QB Rodgers visits the Steelers.
Another good spot for him. I think those are the only 2 spots, Minnesota and Pittsburgh.
Obviously, I think one of those spots is going to allow Rodgers to be himself, and the other one is a guy in Mike Tomlin that's going to be like, shut the fuck up.
No, I feel like Tomlin will let him go.
Do you think that? But like, all right, let's call it like it is, because Tomlin is top 3 NFL head coaches right now.
I mean, if you talk to Pittsburgh fans, they're done with him.
Why though?
Because he's been there forever and the glory years have passed and it's time to move on.
I mean, I guess at a certain point, but the guy gets to the playoffs every. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't a losing season.
He does.
But has he ever had a losing season?
I'm trying to think.
I don't think he has. I think the whole thing is he's never gone under 500.
Yeah, but I think Tomlin would let Rodgers do his thing. He's had some wild personalities there, like Antonio Bryant, or not Antonio Brown.
All right, he has, and he's been very nice to all of them. So maybe you're right. Maybe he would let Rodgers just be Rodgers and not give a fuck, and that's kind of what you want, right?
Like Juju's a little crazy.
Yeah, Juju was insane. Juju
right.
was absolutely. So was Antonio Bryant, though. You're completely right. And he had some guys on the defense that were borderline criminals.
Like Joey Porter.
Good Lord, Joey Porter was a menace.
I mean, he's been there forever. He coached Palomalu, right? So I mean, like it was.
I was just about to give you his stats. Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers in the NFL, has a head coaching record of 182 and 103 in two ties in the regular season, 8-10 in the playoffs. Under his leadership, the Steelers have made 11 playoff appearances. They have won 7 AFC North titles and advanced to 2 Super Bowls and won 1. Kind of proof in the pudding there, though. You know what I mean? I get it. I feel like the same way about McDermott, but he's been very successful in Buffalo. So I get where they're coming from. I think as a coach, he's probably what Aaron Rodgers wants.
Yeah, and he's a shitbag too.
Exactly. I think I think there's some legs to this. It looks like the Vikings might be out a little bit.
I mean, we all remember Tomlin stepping on the field on that kick return.
Yep, we do. We remember it. We remember it well. And that's why we hate the Steelers. So that's okay. Hold on, here we go. We have a lot of fucking comments over here. Real question, do we think Jaden Daniels repeats the success or sophomore slump? What do you think, Bri?
I don't think Debo makes much of a difference, to be honest with you. I think Debo's washed.
Agreed.
Jalen Daniels, yeah, I mean, I think he has a similar year. I don't think he has a slump. I think he's too good.
He's very good. And if he puts on a little bit of weight, just a little bit, so when he gets cracked, he doesn't die. I feel like he's only going to get better with time. But, we probably would have said the same thing about CJ Stroud.
Yeah, but CJ Stroud, I think there are some circumstances that led to CJ Stroud not having a great year this year.
That offensive line was trash, right?
Was trash. Nico was hurt.
Yep. Tank
Tank
went
was
out.
hurt.
Stephon Diggs went out. He had
Diggs
a lot
was
of shit
hurt.
go
Like,
wrong.
there's a lot of stuff going on in Houston. So I don't
Still
know
would
if
like to see
Stroud
Washington
was,
add a wide receiver, though, right?
what's that?
Still would like to see Washington add like an actual wide receiver, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I would.
Here's a good question. What is your Mount Rushmore of athlete murderers, Bry? Before 3 years ago, it was pretty hard to get a losing season in the AFC North. That's another great point. Antonio says OJ, Ray Lewis, and Aaron Hernandez. Bouye says OJ is a great shout. We all know. And then Oscar Pistorius could be on the mount. He's a wild man. Oscar genuinely killed his girlfriend and had no remorse about it and got off. So you got to love that.
I think OJ has to be. He's a top 5 running back of all time, right?
Guy didn't even have legs. That's a good point. The guy did not have legs, and he still pulled off murder, which is a feat in itself.
OJ and Ray Lewis have to be on there because they're both Hall of Famers.
OJ, I mean,
yeah,
as an NFL player, was ridiculous.
Then I'm going. Man, how many murderers have there been in pro sports?
I think a better question is. No, that's good. I won't say that. That was wild. I was going to say something terrible. So I just at a certain point it's late. I don't know what to say. Ray Lewis is definitely on the board. OJ is definitely on the board.
Yeah.
Aaron Hernandez was good, but I think a lot of people forget that on the other side they had Gronk, and it probably opened up a lot of stats.
I don't know, but the whole Aaron Hernandez saga story is fucking crazy.
It's crazy, but like how much of that is like bullshit? You know what I mean?
How much of it's bullshit?
Yeah, how much of it's bullshit? Because the TV show is like, oh, he's fucking banging dudes and doing that. Like, come on. What are we talking about?
I think it's all true, though.
Maybe. It could be. You could, dude, seriously, you could tell me anything about him and I'd believe it.
I think he was banging dudes.
I mean, maybe he was. Antonio says CJ Stroud didn't have Scary Terry, though. Good point. He did have Nico Collins, who's probably, in everyone's eyes, a little bit better than Scary Terry, I would say. So we'll see. Bouye says might need to turn him into a eunuch after that question. Good job catching yourself. Thank you. I appreciate that. It was a good catch for me. Bry, if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they a playoff team?
Yes.
Like, without question.
Yes.
In how many games do they win?
9 or 10.
10, right? Like, I could easily see them winning 10 games.
Easily.
Do they win the AFC North?
They play the Browns twice.
That's 2 wins.
That's 2 wins.
The Bengals spent $150 million on fucking 3 players, so
I think they maybe split with the Bengals, so that's 3 wins. And
they definitely split with the Ravens.
Maybe they split with the Ravens. That's 4.
And Aaron Rodgers is going to be behind a better line than he was in New York, with a better defense, better coach.
I have some more murderers for you. I looked it up.
Give it to me. Yeah.
Henry Ruggs.
Didn't get to see his career, but it definitely had some buzz coming out.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Aaron Hernandez, Ray Lewis, OJ Simpson. How about little Dante Stallworth?
Stallworth killed somebody?
Yeah, he hit someone while drunk.
Oh
Well, he
my
hit a
God.
pedestrian while he was drunk.
Who was the guy from fucking New Orleans? Didn't someone from New Orleans kill somebody? Good defensive player?
Don't know.
For some reason, I thought somebody from New Orleans fucking killed somebody. A really good defensive player. Nico Collins over Terry McLaurin. Yeah, dude, Nico last year, I think took a huge step up, dude. Right. I mean, last year Nico was automatic.
He
I
was
mean,
incredible.
he caught everything.
Antonio, I got a question for this murder question. What about Junior Seau? He killed himself.
So good, my hat came off, Brian. Fantastic. Bravo to you, kid. Oh boy, Antonio says. Blue Jay says Jim Boeheim could coach the murder squad.
I'm sorry, it popped in my mind and I just had to say it.
Oh, that Jim Boeheim comment is low key one of the best of the night. And Blue Jays, you've been on fire all fucking night. His wife could also coach that murder squad if she wanted to. Wow.
Or Steve McNair's wife.
That was fucking low. Good Lord. You should do build a running back. Yeah, we'll get into it. We got a lot of NFL content coming up. CTE does crazy things. CTE does
Yo, like some
yes.
crazy
Ask Chris
stuff.
Benoit what CTE does to you. Fucking
That, yeah, I mean, he could be on the murderer Mount Rushmore.
if he was an actual athlete, he could have been, but he should be on some sort of murderer Mount Rushmore just for the fucking sheer insanity that whole case has. But Illinois looks like they're in control here. They're up by 9 deep into
And
the second
UConn looks
half.
like they're in control too.
Who does?
UConn.
Okay, so UConn. How is Michigan State faring right now?
I think they pulled away a little bit too by half. So
UConn is up by 5 on Oklahoma. Michigan State up by 5 at half. Oregon looks like they are gonna run Liberty out of the fucking gym. They're up by 21 going into half here in a minute or 39 seconds. So, man, not a great tournament. Arizona beats Akron by 28 points.
a lot.
Akron didn't have a shot from after the second half. They just didn't have a shot. There was
No.
Arizona got fucking caught fire and did not miss. That St. Mary's Vanderbilt game was interesting. I thought St. Mary's would have a little bit more for Alabama. I do not think that anymore. Let's just put it that way.
For Alabama?
Yeah, I just aren't they playing Alabama next round?
Un momento, por favor. Who is Alabama playing next round?
Yeah, they get St. Mary's.
Oh.
Alabama is a 5.5 point favorite. Iowa State a 5.5 point favorite over Ole Miss. Texas A&M a 2.5 favorite over Michigan. Auburn a 9.5 favorite over Creighton. Duke 11.5 over Baylor. Arizona awaits Oregon in that second round. I'm curious to see what that line would be. Wisconsin a -1.5 favorite over BYU. Any of those spreads tickle you a little bit? Creighton stands out to me. 9.5 seems like a lot of points
Seems like a lot.
for
What
Creighton.
was, what was the Maryland spread?
Let me look real quick. If Creighton catches fire, though, that's going to be a problem for fucking Auburn, I think. Maryland is a 7.5 point favorite over Colorado State. I think that's probably right.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to dig into the numbers before I make a conclusive statement on any of them.
Here's an interesting one, though, Bri. UCLA is getting 4.5 points. Tell me you don't want to fucking slam Tennessee on the other side of that.
I kind of do.
I kind of do as well.
Yeah, 4.5 points.
That's not a lot of points. St. John's 7.5 point favorites against Arkansas. Texas Tech 6.5 point favorites over Drake. That's kind of interesting to me a little bit because Drake plays so slow that maybe just due to the pace of the game.
Drake is the slowest playing team in the nation.
Yeah. And it would be cool to see an 11 seed. I mean, obviously not for my bracket, but would be cool to see an 11 seed fucking get moving on after that. Purdue is a 5.5 point favorite over McNeese. I think that is too small as well. I think Purdue's going to kill McNeese. Houston is a 5.5 point favorite over Gonzaga. Does that seem right? Does that seem right though?
I don't want anything to do with touching that game.
Oh yeah, I'm not, dude. I am fucking absolutely not touching any side in that game. I will be watching. It's 8:40 tip off tomorrow. Dude, cannot wait for that fucking game. But I think Purdue and Tennessee are my favorite lines right now. That Wisconsin -1.5 is interesting too. What about Iowa State -5.5 against Ole Miss?
I mean, I really liked what I saw from Iowa State today.
They came out firing.
Like I really liked what Iowa State was doing today.
Lipscomb sucks though.
They do.
They suck.
But they
Ole Miss
score.
had a better test.
All right, Oklahoma's within 1.
I think Oklahoma's going to probably pull this game out, and that's really sad.
They'll bust a lot of brackets.
Yeah, because UConn I had going. Oh, I didn't have going too far or anything like that. Antonio asked, Bri, are you an Eagles fan?
I am, Antonio. I'm originally from the Philadelphia area.
Shadow says, if y'all didn't know, Georgia O-line Marquise Easley has been suspended indefinitely after he crashed his car into a garage at the Athens Ridge apartment complex. What the fuck is going on in Georgia?
Well, there's another guy who is suspended indefinitely. I believe his name is Nitro Tuggle. He's also suspended for a driving-related incident as well.
So no more cars for anyone from Georgia. That's what it sounds like to me. Antonio says, could add Michael Vick on the Mount Rushmore, but instead of killing people, he was killing dogs. I'm excited to see the good guy arc of Mike Vick. He's coaching a team, I believe now. Blue Jay says, set the line, Brittany Griner to be out with the murder Mount Rushmore. In the next 20 years, yeah. Bryce, set the line.
5.5.
There you go. All right. Shadow says Georgia wide receiver Nitro Tuggle has what a fucking name, by the way. Has been arrested on charges of reckless driving and speeding in Athens. These fucking Georgia players are wreaking havoc.
Yeah, I try to
Athens, Georgia.
I try to keep up with the legal shit that's going on around college football. So
Looks like Kirby Smart does not have a hold of that team whatsoever.
I'm impressed. I remembered Nitro Tuggle.
Well, it's a fucking hell of a name.
It's
I
a
mean, the
great name.
kid, that's a great fucking name.
You're a
I'm
wide
trying to
receiver
look.
too.
Yeah, well, for a wide receiver, that's a hell of a name. I'm trying to look at when these games start tomorrow.
I think they start at
Sadly, yeah,
noon.
we got noon. But this is the shitty part because we go from 16 games a day down to 8. It's just like, ah, fuck. Now we got one game at a time, basically. The
But
first game we have on the 22nd. What is it, 21st today or 20th?
today is the 21st.
Okay, so first game we have of the day tomorrow is McNeese and Purdue. Then we have St. John's, Arkansas. Then I believe we have Michigan, Texas A&M, and a handful of 7 o'clock games. Drake, Texas Tech goes off at 6:10. Bry, of those games that I listed for tomorrow, Auburn, Creighton at 7. UCLA and Tennessee 9:40 at the nightcap. Which one are you most excited for?
I'm most excited for the Arkansas St. John's game.
Okay. You want to see it. Now, is that because you want to watch St. John's play a better opponent, or is that because you expect it to be a good game?
I just want to see my wife swear at the TV. My wife is not she doesn't swear. She's maybe one of the nicest people you've ever met. But when it comes to Kentucky basketball and Pitino and Calipari, it fires her up, and she will be throwing around 4-letter words that start with F.
Did she like what she saw from Kentucky today against
She
Troy?
did. She did. Well, there's a spot where she was a little concerned, but
What's the spot?
I think Kentucky went gave up like 7 straight points at one point during the game. And they closed the gap, and she was like, "Well, here we go, it's Kentucky again." So,
how does she feel about Mark Pope?
she is in the Pope era.
Okay, all right, I like it. Shadow says, "Do I trust Bennett Sturts to go over 1.5 3-points made?"
I don't know. That Texas Tech defense looked good.
He had 21 points against Missouri and 4 assists.
How many threes?
I am trying to locate stats right now. Give me a second. Let's look this up real quick.
He's 3 for 3 against Missouri from 3-point.
Well, obviously, probably not going to do that again. But
Was the line 1.5?
1.5. He is shooting 40% on 3-pointers this season.
So the last couple games 5 2 1 2 1 5 3 2 2 2 1 3 2 2 1 1 1. Oklahoma's ahead.
God damn it, UConn. Ugh. So the question is, do you like the line or not? Or you think it's set pretty accurately? Because I think it's pretty accurate.
It's probably close. I don't love it.
Antonio says, "Don't worry, the person the U.S. traded for Brittany Griner is already taking care of that with the murder."
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing some murder. He's taking care of some people, that's for sure.
The
Kerwin
mention
Walton.
of death.
Kerwin Walton over 10.5 points and assists. I will take. Shadows has got all the fucking. Who is Kerwin Walton?
He's got all the props. Xavier's dead.
Yeah, Xavier's done.
They're down 14.
No fucking. And Illinois cannot miss right now. UConn back up on top. Looks like that's going to be the game of the night there. Bryant down by 3. 19 minutes left in the second half.
I think Walton is probably good pick. Yeah, I will subscribe to that.
What's the line? 10.5. Yeah, he's gone. If that's points and assists, he had 25 against Missouri. Am I on the right one? I'm not. Sorry. He had 29 against UNC Dub. He had 14 against Arizona, 12 against Baylor, 11 and 12 in the previous two. He's gone over that line in every game.
I also fully expect Toppin to go off at some point.
I think that this is probably the game, right?
I mean, he's the Big 12 Player of the Year.
You got to do it against Drake. I think he's going to need to really score against Drake. We also chose Xavier over Illinois. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Bryant on upset watch. Yeah, I really hope Michigan State loses. I'm going to be honest with you. A couple of the people in our bracket contest took Michigan State to win the championship, which I thought was absolutely fucking bananas. So we get to knock them out rather quickly here. Bride, you know how you're faring in the bracket challenge right now.
I think I'm top half. Let me check.
I'm looking right now. I am second, tied for second with myself. Bry and me, Bry, and three other people are tied for second. We have Brian, you can score 1860 on one of yours. The other one, I'm looking for your other one. The other one is also tied for second. You can score 1820. My one that I have Houston winning, I can score 1840. And the one that you have Duke winning, you can score 1860, and I can score 1800 in the one that I have Duke winning. So we are tied for second, Bry, with each other.
I mean, this won't be solved until the weekend's over.
No, it won't.
We'll have a much clearer picture by the end of this weekend.
The leader of the bracket challenge is a friend of ours, Carm, in that Discord, and he is absolutely slamming right now. He is 94%, 230 points. He's got Michigan over Auburn, though, so maybe Texas A&M wins.
Well,
Auburn,
well, he has Connecticut in the final.
In the final?
4.
He has ISU also in the Final Four.
Yes.
Interesting. All right, so I'm not as worried about him now. Okay, good. That makes me feel better. If UConn up 5 now. Bryant down by 9. Oregon up 24 at half. Xavier down 12. Just another. Oklahoma cuts it to 2. Just another shitty night of basketball, by the way.
Yeah, it's not been a great tournament.
It's been horrific. There's been no interesting fucking games so far. Like, again, no fucking buzzer beaters, no fun whatsoever.
0 fun.
I feel like we've been on the right side of a lot of it, though. I feel like Michigan State beats New Mexico. I have ISU beating Ole Miss in one of mine, so thank Christ for that. Now I'm rethinking ISU losing to Michigan State, though, because they look so fucking good today. But we'll see, man. Texas A&M against Michigan is going to be interesting. That's for sure. I rather stupidly took Liberty over Oregon for some reason. That's fun for me. Called every upset of the 12 seeds wrong. So that's good.
That's great.
Love doing that. And I have Xavier beating Kentucky. So that's going to be fun for me. You son of a bitch. All the Final Four teams are in it. I got Texas Tech, Auburn, Houston, and Duke. So let's just hope that sticks.
Dan, do you want to run this back tomorrow night?
Yeah, we're gonna have to, right? It seems like we've kind of made a to do about this.
So
I would expect
night,
Rocky Prop not to be involved again. So
tomorrow night, Sunday morning, Sunday night.
We're gonna have to do Sunday night as well. I would assume, yeah.
So you get a full weekend of DGen fantasy.
We're putting in the work.
You get a full weekend of Dan. You get a full weekend of Bry. You get a half a weekend of Rock.
You get a 1 hour of Rocky Prop. 1 single hour stretched out over 6 days. We also had Michigan State going to the Final Four in the DGen bracket, so that's great. Michigan State just opened it up. All right, boys, I'm out of here. Have a good one. Blue Jays, what a performance by you today.
Great job. Bravo.
Fantastic. Antonio says, I think UConn and OK is going to come down to the buzz. Looks like it tied at 54 right now on my end. I don't know. I think Brian's a little bit ahead of me. Brian, did you know, Brian, that you can turn off on YouTube TV? You can turn off the delay.
I did turn off the delay. The problem is when you have 4 things going at one time,
it fucking kills it.
It's like it wants to fucking puke on itself. So
Shadows to close out the show as a parlay for us tomorrow. Trey Kaufman over 6.5 rebounds. Trevon Brazil over 9 points. Jonas Adu over 22 PRA. Bennett Sturts over 1.5 3-pointers. Kerwin Walton over 10.5 points and assists. Shadows, I love it. I love it, buddy. You're kind of on fire. I want to see you up that unit size, man. Let's get some fucking more money on those bets, man, because I feel like if you do, you can make a little bit of cash there. All right, boys, that is going to do it for Bry, myself, Bry's cat. Really everybody. Rocky Prop. I don't even know if he's going to be on the show from this point forward. He might just join a professional beer league hockey team. And just be doing that. Lit says that Rocky Prop was not a lock. Yes, Rocky Prop gave out a prop earlier, and apparently it did not hit. Shadow says, Kitty. All right, boys, we are out. We will see you tomorrow to recap Saturday's games. And Bry is going to be hopefully not stroking his cat like that the next time we see him. All right, boys, we're out. Take it easy.
Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Before I came up in the game.